there, Bulldog fans, and welcome into another exciting episode of the Bulldog Blitz. I'm your host, Mark Minner. Coming up on today's show, the football team continues their magical season with a victory over Davidson. The Butler men's and women's teams dominated the Horizon League cross-country championships, and the women's volleyball team scored a 4-set victory over Valparaiso. But first, the 2009-2010 Butler men's basketball season is underway. A crowd of over 4,600 fans filed into Hinkle Fieldhouse on Sunday night to see the Bulldogs take on the DePaul Tigers in the first of 2 exhibition games this year. The Dogs got on the board early, scoring 12 unanswered points, and they never looked back. DePaul would only be able to close the gap to 10 points the rest of the game due to a stifling 9 blocks and 13 steals by the Butler defense. In the first half, Gordon Hayward showed off some of his new skills he picked up over the summer with a couple of nifty moves around the basket, as well as this monster block over DePaul's freshman guard, Kevin Sullivan. Gordon led the Bulldogs with 7 points at the half, and the Tigers trailed 39-12. In the second, Butler did not let up. They started in the half with a 15-7 run and continued to build on the lead while putting a variety of different lineups on the court. 14 Butler players saw action in the game, and it was a chance for Coach Stevens to see how his team would react in a game situation. The Bulldogs rolled on to victory over DePaul in commanding style, 77-45. For the first time since 1961, the Butler football team is 8-0 after a victory over Davidson this past Saturday. Fans of the Butler Bowl were treated to yet another game that came right down to the wire. After a first half which saw Butler pull out to a 7-0 lead, Davidson fought back. Then sophomore quarterback Andrew Huck took center stage, navigating a 98-yard drive that wound up giving the Bulldogs the lead. The Dogs went on to hold off the Davidson Wildcats and continue their undefeated season with their co-league leading 5th Pioneer League victory. Butler had the advantage over Davidson in almost every statistical category, and Andrew Huck finished with 136 yards through the air and 81 on the ground. The victory broke a 5-game losing streak against Davidson, and the Bulldogs will be on the road for the next 2 weeks beginning this Saturday with a match against the Dayton Flyers. The women's volleyball team is flying high as they head towards the weekend and their final 2 home matches of the regular season. The women are coming off a 4-set victory over the Valparaiso Crusaders, and Valpo is now just 1 game ahead of Butler for second place in the Horizon League. For a recap of the match against Valparaiso, here's Blitz's Ryan Anderson.
The Butler Bulldogs came through in a big way Friday, defeating the visiting 17-8 Valparaiso Crusaders 25-23, 25-27, 25-22, and 25-17 respectively. Junior Jessica Wolf led the team with 19 kills, and senior Katie DePrilli had a game-high 21 digs. The win brings the Lady Dogs record to 19-11 overall and 8-4 in the Horizon League. Next up, the Dogs will play Loyola at home. Reporting for the Bulldog Blitz, this is Ryan Anderson.
For the 12th straight year, the Butler men's cross-country team overcame their competition to take the Horizon League cross-country championships. This year, not only did the men's team capture the top prize, but so did the women. The men's team swept the top 6 spots and notched a perfect score for the 3rd consecutive year. Senior Andy Baker grabbed the top time for the men's team with a time of 25:15.6. This was the first time in Butler history that a runner had finished in first place in 3 straight championships. On the women's side, freshman Lauren McKillop beat out Katie Clark for the top spot. McKillop finished with a time of 18:48.30. The women's team recovered from a 3rd-place performance in last year's race to grab their 7th title in the last 8 years. The women's basketball season starts up on Monday when DePaul travels up to Hinkle Fieldhouse. This past week, the All-Horizon League preseason picks were announced. Blitz's Peter Rapazzi has more on where the Butler Bulldogs were selected to finish.
Coming off a 20-12 record and a postseason appearance, the Butler women's basketball team is primed for another big year. The Horizon League's preseason poll was released last Tuesday, and the Lady Bulldogs were picked to finish 3rd behind Cleveland State and reigning league champion Green Bay. This was despite their performance last year when the team went 14-4 in league play and earned an invitation to the WNIT. The Horizon League's preseason all-league rosters were also released last week, and 2 Bulldogs made the list. Senior forward Susan Lester was named to the first team, while junior teammate Brittany Bowen received second-team honors. Beth Kuchar is at the helm as the Dogs head into the season looking to climb to the top of the Horizon League and into the thick of March Madness. With 4 starters returning, including 4 of Butler's top 5 scorers all time, Kuchar has plenty of talent to make that happen. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Peter Rapazzi.
Coming up, our panel will join us to break down the first men's basketball game and plenty more. Stay with us right here on the Bulldog Blitz.